Hi guys, I'm Mary for those of you that don't know me. I'm going to do my makeup today with two different product lines from the same company. The product line that I typically use is always 3D foundation, and then the other line is called Demi. And again, they came out with it last year, and it's a revolutionary way to do your makeup that specifically focuses on color science, true color science. I haven't done a lot of Demi on my channel, but I will be showing you guys more in the future as we go on. Part of the reason why is now they have merged the two lines together onto the same website. So when you go to order 3D foundation through my link down below, you can also access the Demi products that are available as well. So I'm going to show you guys how I do 3D foundation and Demi together. And just to give you a little bit of overview with Demi, the Demi color is used so that you just use Demi. You don't put anything over the top of it because it doesn't leave a gray color like normal color correctors will. This will actually completely neutralize the color to where it looks like the skin around it. So I'm going to show you guys how that works. It's amazing. You could compare foundation and Demi as in paint and stain. So Demi uses a very, very, very light layer that, again, you are using the color science to offset the discoloration to neutralize the skin color. So if that's confusing, don't worry, just keep watching and I will show you guys before and afters at each step so that you can see how much has changed. But first and foremost, the very first thing I always start with is putting my contour on. I want to put color on my face first. I know that sounds a little strange for some of you, but I'll show you the method to the madness and why I do that. This is my SEINT Compact. It's got 3 layers. So up here, you'll see these larger tins right here. This is 3D foundation. You're going to get these full-size tins. Demi are these mini half-size tins because you're going to be using a lot less of these products. They will last a lot longer than even the 3D foundation. Over here is my main foundation highlight color. That's what I put in my beard area usually, and just kind of around here. And then I've got a brightening highlight that I usually put underneath my eyes. And then I've got my contour and my bronzer. These are some extra highlight colors in case I get like a darker skin or if I want to tackle some other things. It's all completely customized to my face and the different things that I have going on with me. Now today, though, I'm going to be using these little colors here for my under eyes, around my mouth, and my forehead, or any blemishes I have. Anything that has a lot of movement or has a lot of color, I'm going to be neutralizing those with these colors right here. So I'm going to start with my contour, which is this olive contour right here. And I'm going to go in with my blend brush as usual. Got something on my thumb. I don't know what that is. Probably paint from my children. And go here. And there. So if you are new to contouring, I am just going along my cheekbone. Some people prefer to bring it up on top of their cheekbone a little bit higher, some lower. It really depends on your preference of contour placement as well as the shape of your face. I kind of come at an angle because I've got an oval face, so I want a little bit of lift in my cheeks, but I don't need a whole ton. If I had a very narrow face, I would come at a more of a straighter angle. If I had a rounder face, then I would bring my line down at a lot more of an angle this way. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Clear as mud. I'm gonna take some of that contour along my forehead. That's a lot of contour. Oh well, the good thing about creams is that if you get way too much, do not stress. I promise you, it will blend out like a dream and you won't even know. All right, now I'm going to go in with that bronzer, which is this rich brown color. And I'm just going to hit more of the high points of my face, which is just below my contour on my forehead. And then just above my contour on my cheeks. Just these high points. You know when the sun tans your face, you get like this color just across your cheeks and you get some on your forehead and maybe on your nose. That's what we're going for right there. All right. Now I've got the color. Now I'm going to blend it all in. Just going to blend them together. And I'm going to bring that color in just a little bit further than normal. Give myself a little bit more. Okay, now wait. The reason why I contour first is 1, it maps my face. It lets me know what I have left to do. And 2, it helps me to use less product because I personally do not like a lot of product on my face if I can help it. Okay, so now that I've added color, now you can see some of the problem areas on my face, and that's what I'm going to be tackling. specifically my under eyes right here. And I've got a little like blemish thing going on there this morning. I don't know. And then some of these areas underneath my eye on here. And then over here I've got some blemishes. I've got melasma up my jaw right here. And then I've got a little bit of a blemish starting right here. And then I've got some leftover like scarring, a blemish. So those are all things that I'm going to be tackling today with the Demi. And it's going to be a little bit slower process as I explain it, but as you learn the science of like actual color science, true color science, not the color science where we slap a green on a red and it makes a gray. This is the true color science where it actually eliminates the excess color. Okay, so that's what we are going into right now. Now this is the spot brush, and this is in the Demi line, and I believe they're going to be discontinuing it. I believe SEINT is discontinuing this brush. But if you do not get this brush in time, or you see this video after they've discontinued it, you can always go into the 3D brushes, and this is the Multitasker brush, and it's got a fine point as well. It's not as soft and flexible as this one, but it does have a little flex to it, and it will work. It will work pretty well. You just try to grab a little less product with this brush. So if you already have this brush in your arsenal, then you can go ahead and use this without getting this one. But if they do have this one still when you're watching this video, I recommend it. It's very nice for the Demi colors. So I'm gonna tackle my under eyes first, and I wanna show you how much a difference it makes on my face and how it as I remove just that distraction, how much brighter my face looks, and it looks like, oh, you don't need as much makeup as you thought. And then I'll show you the before. So when we go into with the Demi color, I'm gonna look at this color, and as you play with Demi and you get to know it a little bit more, you'll be able to identify these colors better. It's got a vibrant reddish, but it's also got an undertone of purple. I'm gonna go in with this green yellow color. I had to switch out some of the ones in my palette because I haven't been using some of those Demi colors. So I'm gonna use this green yellow color, and I'm gonna take the tip of my brush ever so gently, and I'm just gonna tap it in there. I probably got too much product. That's something you learn with Demi right away, is getting too much on there. And I'm just gonna dab that on the darkest part of the area, darkest part of the discoloration first. And you can already see it disappear. On this side, whoop, you can see, when you can see the product, you know you got too much. That's a good rule of thumb with Demi. And also, if the blemish does not go away, you've got the wrong color. So those are a couple things that help you when you are doing Demi. I'm going to go in with that same color around my face that might have some of those similar reddish purple color. And only apply the colors to the area of discoloration. We're not doing a swath of color across. The reason is because we're looking for a very minimal texture look. You know when people come up and say, oh my gosh, your makeup looks so beautiful? And then other times where people have come up to you and said, oh my gosh, your skin is so beautiful. Like, I think about it and I'm like, which one would I rather have? Somebody tell me my skin is beautiful or my makeup looks beautiful? I think that if my skin looked beautiful and flawless, then I wouldn't be wearing makeup in the first place, so at least not on my face. So I said I was going to start with my under eyes, but I did something else. Okay, so I've already moved a lot of these distractions underneath, pretty much to where I'm good for now, because again, I'm going more for a natural skin face look. Now I'm going to target my under eyes, and I'll show you how much it's changed. But before I do that, here's the before, and here's what it looks like now. So you can see the difference between what my chin and my area around my mouth looked like before I tackled that, okay? All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna tackle some of this melasma pooling, a little bit of the freckling and melasma I've got going on here, and a little bit on this outer edge. This right here is a freckle. Sometimes I remove it, sometimes I don't. But this underneath here has got more of like a greenish tint to it. So I'm gonna dip into something called an R1. It's that pink one that I showed you guys before. And I'm gonna just go into that. touching the skin on this. So there's a couple of these dark spots. I'm going to go into a 01 because these have a little bit of blue in them. And I know that not because they look blue, because they don't. They look brown. But anytime there's depth to a color, it's going to have blue in it. And those spots were a little bit darker than the rest, so I know it has blue in it. Sometimes they're a little blue-green. So there's a mix that I have. That's an OR, which would be orange-red. I'm going to go to the other side and come back and look at this side, see what I think. This, I have some freckling here. And then there's this vein right here. So I'm going to go back into that orange color, the 01. And there are some different depths of blue that you can have on your face. So the darker it is, the more depth it has, which means you're going to need a darker orange color. So I'm using the lightest orange Demi color that is in the line. But if I had a darker spot, I would need to go to like an 03 or an 05, which they have on the website as well. Now, one of my favorite things about Demi is for the under eye, because you're using such a small amount of makeup that you can't even detect it in person, on a camera, anywhere. It looks like just a natural, beautiful, glowing under eye with no makeup texture, even less than what I use with 3D foundation. And I use very little with 3D foundation. So I'm still dipping into that 01 because a lot of this has depth to it. Anything that's got that freckly, greenish, muddyish color, I would use the R1. But a lot of this has a lot of depth, or it has more depth, not a lot, but has more depth. So you can already see how much my under eye has transformed. I think I'm going to tackle that freckle today because it's distracting me. I'm going to try the R1. It's a little bit darker of a freckle. And if it doesn't cut it, I'll go into the blue, or excuse me, into the orange. But you can already see how much that under eye has changed. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with my under eye. I'm not going to get too crazy. I can go as detailed as I want to. But here's what my under eye looks like before and now. So you can see before and now how much that just changed and shifted the distractions on my face, so that my face just looks like it's just naturally glowing and distraction free, blemish free. All right, now I'm going to go up to my forehead. This thing I have had for weeks. I'm going to start with the darkest point, which is the center. I'm going to go in with a little bit of that 01 and just dab it in the center. Got a little too much. And I'm going to see if that'll cover some of the outer stuff. It looks like it's doing a pretty good job. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of I've got a yellow-orange, which is a Y01, which tackles what's the opposite of yellow is purple. The opposite of orange is blue, so this has got a lot of blue in it. So we're just going opposite of the color wheel, just like in normal color science. The difference is between Demi color science and regular color correcting is that we are just color correcting the distraction color. We're not correcting the general color, because otherwise we're going to be left with a gray color. And you can see I don't have any gray points on my face where I put the makeup. It's pretty incredible, actually. All right. The last thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of blush, and I'm going to be done for the day. So you can see that my freckles are still poking through and shining through. You can still see a lot of like just naturalness coming through, but my skin looks a lot more glowing and the distractions aren't there, taking you away from my eyes. The under eye distractions are gone, so it brings the attention back up to my eyes and to my eye makeup, which is where I want it. I don't want it on my blemishes or my under eye veins or anything like that. I don't know. If you do, then great, but I don't. All right. I am going to go with a little bit of my regular foundation, my regular highlight foundation, and just clean up my line right here. It's not my contour, it's actually just melasma pooling, but it looks like I've got like a crooked contour line, which is not the case at all. It's just how my melasma and freckles go. They're kind of obnoxious that way. And I'm just going to clean up that area a little bit. Now I do not, if you're wondering, I do not put 3D foundation on top of the Demi. Demi is done. I don't need to put anything on top of it. It has already cleared everything up. At least that's what it looks like. In my skin, you can see no texture of where I put the Demi. It just looks like my skin is just naturally like that. And then I would go in and set, like I normally do a 3D foundation. Some people don't with their Demi, but me, I find it does last longer. And I do like a little bit of more of a matte finish under my eyes. I want them to be bright, but I don't want them to be shiny. Because like I've showed you guys in other videos, I'm prone to makeup bags, eye bags. So I want to minimize that. Okay, and that's it, guys. That is my look for today. This is a Demi 3D foundation mix, and I used very minimal foundation. It was all just pinpointing with that Demi line, and I will link both Demi and 3D foundation below so you can go check it out and just get an idea of what I'm talking about. But I will be doing more Demi videos in the future. I know that this can be a little bit confusing because it is so different and so new in the makeup world, and the concepts are new, so it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve. But if it is something that intrigues you, then please reach out to me. I'd love to answer any questions that you have. And so, all right, guys, I will see you guys next week. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with anybody that you think would like it. All right, bye.